All right, all right. Testing, testing, testing. If you can hear me, please type Y or yes in the chat box. Can everybody hear me? All right, testing, testing. If you can hear me, please type Y or yes in the chat box. All right, perfect, perfect, perfect. All right, everybody. This is I'd like to welcome everybody to tonight's training. This is going to be something I'm going to plan on doing like the middle of each month. I just want to let this be almost like a what do you call it? Like a town hall type of meeting setting, which you can actually, if you have any questions on me or you have any concerns or things that you're running it into and having problems with building your Wake Up Now business, this is a Q&A training session. Okay, Q&A training session. So if you have any questions or what have you, hey, feel free to type it in the chat box, and I'll definitely be answering it to the best of my ability. And I like things like this, so I like to keep you guys sharp and see what are you guys are actually doing. Are you actually following the PS3 system? Are you actually following and applying the trainings that myself and other leaders are giving to you guys? Okay, because you never know. It may just be something that you're missing out. Just that little something that you're missing out that that you're having trouble with. Oh, goodness gracious. Thank you, Marciano. I appreciate it. Let them know I'm calling right now. I keep forgetting about that. I'm so used to doing Hangouts. Forgot about the conference calls.
Welcome. This service is provided by freeconferencecall.com. Please enter. You entered 818. There are 3 participants in this conference. Please announce yourself.
All right, everybody. Apologize for that. I keep forgetting about my my audience on my conference call line. So we have everybody on the Hangout, and also we have people on the conference call. Again, my name is Chris McCoy, top leader here with Wake Up Now. This is a Q&A session. I'm going to be doing this the middle of every month, usually either before or close to or after the 15th or halfway through the month. I will be doing these just to see where everybody else is at and building their business. It could be something that you guys are missing out on or something that you just need to tweak. Nothing that you need to do, grab a hacksaw and cut off a marketing technique. But this training tonight is going to be definitely here to help you to become sharp. So this is a Q&A session. All right, let me go ahead and do this right quick.
All callers are muted and they can unmute themselves.
All right, and what I'll be doing throughout the time, if I pause, I'm still here. It's just a little relaxed when I'm doing the hangout when people are submitting their questions. But if you have any questions as far as some of the challenges that you're having building your business, and hopefully what I'll be able to do is teach you how to overcome those obstacles or those challenges that you're having. So if you're on the phone, if you have a question, just press star *6 to unmute yourself and ask away. If you're on a hangout, just feel free to go ahead and put in the chat box your question. All right, don't be shy. If you have any questions, press star *6 to unmute yourself, or if you're on the hangout, just go ahead and type in your question. Now I know a lot of people have some questions because I'm looking at ranks, okay, and actually seeing who shows up to train and so happy. So if you have any questions, just feel free to go ahead and type it or star *6 to unmute yourself. This is the Q&A session. Otherwise, this is going to be a short training because in 20 minutes we have our national call. I know we have a lot of meetings out and about, so I know most of the teams are out, especially in New York and in Texas. We have some meetings going on, so probably a lot of the team members is out there to those events. Don't forget about our King and Queen of the Mountain contest. We got almost like 7 to 8 people trying to fight for that 3rd place position. Okay, I got a question here. What way is the fastest way to build our business online and offline? That all varies upon your skill set. If you're going to build it online, whether it's online or offline, one thing is always sequential. One thing they have in common that you must do is you got to take massive action. You hear me say that all the time because it works. Okay, you got to take massive action whether you're building this online or building this offline. If you build this on Facebook or using social media to do it, you got to market your butt off because it's all about exposure. Those who post the most make the most. All right, those who post the most make the most. And also, are you using the right type of bait? Okay, I usually compare marketing almost like fishing. Okay, and your target audience is the fish. Okay, some of them might be perch, some of them might be catfish. Okay, guess what? Each fish is different. They don't like the same bait. All right, they don't like the same bait. Some of you like had a conversation with one of my reps. They were saying like, well, Chris, I'm posting, but I'm not getting a response. And one thing I always ask them, okay, what are you posting? Okay, what are you posting? And some of them is usually always about, the opportunity side of it, which don't get me wrong, you got to go ahead and do that. You must be consistent. However, you have to switch it up. Why? Because not everybody out there is looking for an opportunity. Let me say that again. Not everybody out there is looking for opportunity. So back to my analogy, okay? So guess what? Not all perch fish like worms, okay, or a chicken liver. All right, you might be using chicken liver to go try catching perch. It's not going to happen because you're using the wrong type of bait. But if you put a worm on that hook, they're going to be biting that line all night long, and vice versa with the catfish. Catfish may not like worms, all right? They might like chicken liver. So once you take that worm off that hook and put a chicken liver bait into it, guess what? You're getting a lot of nibbles. Now let's bring it back to, let me paint the picture for you. So not everybody's motivated about the opportunity or making money aspect. Some people are actually, guess what? They make money. They might be successful in what they do. They might be models. They might be doctors. They might be lawyers. They might be in the entertainment business. So guess what? Money is not always a consistent motivator. They might be making $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 a month, okay, and that they might be comfortable with that. But what else can you offer them? That's why I ask the reps to make sure you are offering value, okay, and again, switch it up. It can't be always I'm looking for 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 people or whatever case it is, okay. Tell your story. How has TaxSpot done for you, okay? When you went out to eat, are you using your one local? Show and tell the people how much money you saved on a dinner. Okay, sometimes Wake Up Now gives us free stuff, like free appetizers at Olive Garden and things like that. Okay, those are called success stories. Facts, tell, stories, sell. So the fastest way to build your business online, offline is consistency and massive action. Okay, you can't be out there, call yourself doing something for a couple of days and think that this doesn't work. No. Think of it like fishing, okay? How many times do you have to cast your rod into the cast your line into the water in order for you to start getting those bites? All right. So you got to learn how to do that. You got to be consistent with it. You got to take massive action. You can't always be about on Facebook all the time. There are other avenues. There are other ways that you can get to social media. Think about it. That's why they have other social media sites. All right. There's a lot of stuff that people don't know about. The same thing with offline marketing. You can't just be giving people a business card and think they'll call you. I never pass out business cards unless I get something in return. A business card is like a non-physical handshake, if you will. All right. When you shake somebody's hands, you shaking their hand, they're shaking yours. Okay. That's a reaction amongst two people. Okay. If I give you my business card has information on it, then I'm requiring some information from you. Okay, but if you're going to do something like that, I recommend postcards. I recommend flyers. All right, if you're just going to market like that. All right, massive action. That's the best and fastest way you can build your business, online and offline. Are you holding a press play party or a wake up party, or wherever have you want to, or PBRs as they say? Are you hosting events at your house? Are you hosting events at your friend's house who wants to know about this opportunity? There are so many ways to market this business. We got to make sure we expose all options. So hopefully that answers your question right there. All right. Again, if you're on the line, if you have a question, just press star 6 to unmute yourself to ask away. All I'm going to be doing is just reading off some questions off the Hangout. Okay. Let's see. Chris, can you talk about someone responding, showing interest to you, and then interest in you, then just try to pitch you on what they have? Okay, reverse marketers. Okay, that's what I believe you're talking about, Eric. All right, you're out there, and this is mainly on online marketing. Okay, you get people out there. Okay, you get people out there. You'll post something. They'll show some interest. They'll act like they're listening. Then, hey, have you heard about this? Okay, or you heard about that. All right, there's so many ways to go about this business. Okay, you could reverse the reverse marketer, if that makes sense. All right. First of all, if somebody try to pitch me, I've always listened to what they have to say. Okay, I always listen. I don't say, yeah, I heard about that and all this other stuff. So, I mean, it depends on the person. If I know you, then I'm going to say that. Okay, if I have rapport with you, I'm going to say that. But if it's somebody that just pop up on my inbox and I don't know them, and they'll try to build rapport and ask, hey, have I heard about this ABC company and whatnot? Sometimes I say, yeah, I heard a little something about it. Can you tell me a little bit more about it? Okay? Because what I'm doing is this. I'm listening, and I'm watching, and I'm going to know that if they know more about their company than what they perceive to be. All right. For example, I had a person who showed interest about the opportunity, and come to find out, she tried to get me, interested into what's that company called? Secret. All right. So, I told her, I heard a little something about it, but I've known Secret for a long time. I still got a box of darn foot cream in my darn closet somewhere, or something I bought back in 2002. All right, which was from Secret, because when they were selling them in key house and malls. But anyway, as she telling me about, what the company does or what have you, I did research. And the first thing I usually ask, and the first thing I usually do is I'll pull up the compensation plan. Okay? I'll pull up the compensation plan about that company, whatever company it is. All right? And as they talking along, I'm over here doing research. Okay? And the first thing I'm looking at as far as products, okay, company, integrity, I'm looking at compensation plan, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Okay? And the reason why I'm doing right there is because so I could do a quick compare and contrast with them. Okay? Guess what? I signed up a lot of people like this. All right? As they're telling me about it and whatnot, I usually ask them something like this. I'll say, okay, let me ask you a question. How long have you been in it, and how are you marketing it? And they'll tell me how they're marketing. Okay, so what type of what type of compensation plan? Even though I'm looking at it right now, I'm testing them to see, do they know what they're talking about? Okay, is it a unilevel? Is it a two-way pass-up? Is it a matrix? Is it a binary? Is it a hype? I'm asking these type of questions to see if they on point. Okay, and this individual, so to speak, she was pretty much on point with her stuff. And I happened to ask her, okay, so let me ask you, what rank are you? Okay, or how much volume do you have with your company? Okay, and how many people do you have in your organization? And with that company, it's a binary. It's a binary, okay, and I would never ever do a binary again. Some of you is laughing right now, the reason why, okay? And she explained to me she had like over 2,000 and not 2,000, almost over 15,000 in volume and all this other stuff. And she told me where her rank. So I'm like, okay, so you pretty much averaging almost $200 to $300 a week then, if I'm correct in saying that, on a perfect day. And I told her, well, because you have a binary, and I'm starting schooling her about how binaries work. Okay, so now she's getting to the point that, okay, this guy knows what he's talking about. Again, I'm reading this stuff straight out from their compensation plan. Okay, then what I do is this: I do a quick comparison. All right, you're making, give or take, $1,200 on a perfect scenario. You should be making $1,200 of residual income. Okay, and I asked her how many people do she have on her team. All right, make a long story short. Compared to Wake Up Now, she was losing $1,700. Okay, and when I brought that up to her, she was shocked. I was like, well, you have like almost over 200 people in your organization. I was like, with us, heck, 229 reps in our organization, 229 customers or what have you. Guess what? You're making over $5,500 a month. So actually, she was making. That was a huge gap. Okay. So when I get in reverse marketers, first thing I do is I never shoot them away. I never turn them down. So that company, this and that, whatever case it is, because you never know, that person might end up wanting to go join your team. Okay. So I listen to what they have to say. They let me know what type of company it is. I take Google, Google's powerful. I go ahead and Google the company, pull up compensation plan, and as they give me their quote-unquote pitch, okay, I'm researching. I don't care what they say about their pitch, but I'm researching more about the company. Then I'm going to hit them with what I got in comparison of why I like, Wake Up Now, okay? This is the reason is because, first of all, you're only selling, health and beauty products. We got health and beauty products and some, okay? I'm the type of person, instead of me going to a a Victoria's Secret or whatever case it is, I like to be a Walmart, if you will. I like to be a Target. I like to offer variety because not everybody's going to want some cream. Not everybody will want some nail polish. Not everybody's going to want that, okay? So I'd rather appease the masses than a specific niche market. So hopefully that answers your questions there, Eric. Again, if you're on the phone, just go ahead and press *6 to unmute yourself. Okay, we got about 8 more minutes. All right, let's see. Does Corp allow car graphics, for example, where the whole car is wrapped up advertising for Wake Up Now name brand? Yes, they do. I know a rep. I believe he's based out in Georgia. he got a card that's fully wrapped with Wake Up Now marketing material. As long as you go ahead, I mean, make sure you put in independent business owner. Okay, if you put any type of you know, money signs or earn $600 to $1,000 a month in 30 days or anything like that, make sure you include the income disclosure. wakeupnow.com/IDS. Okay, so make sure you include that if you end up doing that type of training. That type of marketing. Me personally, that's a little bit too extreme. I'd rather just go ahead and get some car magnetics done. All right. I mean, that's a little bit too extreme, and that could be costly if you wrap up your whole vehicle for a company. So me personally, I wouldn't do that. I'll just get like a car magnetic done and just call it a day. All right. Any other questions? Again, if you're on a call line, just press *6 to unmute yourself. Also, just to get a couple updates, I know some of you out there are using the PS3, and a couple of weeks ago, I mentioned that I was going to be working on something that to help you guys do the perform the PS3 a little bit better. Because what I'm getting is a lot of reps giving me three-way calls, and the prospect is asking me, "Can you tell me a little bit more about it?" And that's that pretty much one. It baffles me, and the second thing is it makes my liver itch. Okay, because I'm like, okay, I'm sure that they gave you the information for you to look at, and you still want to know a little bit more about it. So I was searching for something because even back in my earlier trainings, I told you guys, like, if you're going to do some online marketing, make sure you get your capture page with an autoresponder and sales funnel that will do that. Wake Up Now provides one that's free for you. The only thing, I was using that as a temporary tool just to build my list of prospects. But the only thing I don't like about that system is that it's fully how can I say this? It's fully branded to Brandon. Okay, it's fully branded to Brandon Boyd. That's the only thing I don't like about it, because sometimes when I give people my link, people say, "Hey, Chris, is this your link?" Because this is me. I'm about to sign up on a guy named Brandon. So that's the only thing I don't like about that. But I have to use something that's temporary. That's very, that converts a lot. But I'm so pleased and happy that I found a sales and marketing funnel that is fully brandable. Okay, it has your name here and everywhere. It gives so much detailed information. It's very attractive. It's like the best sales funnel that I've seen out there. Okay, so for those of you, if you really need this, especially when you're marketing online. Okay, you really need this. Some of you, especially my personally sponsored reps, I pretty much gave this information out to you, this link out to you, so you can look at it and see that, okay, yes, Chris, I see what you're talking about, how it's fully branded. You could change videos. I highly recommend you guys, build the courage to do your own presentations, because when a prospect looks at it, at a video, you don't want them to hear always from a Brandon Boyd or always from a Steve Rachel or always from somebody else. It brings them a little bit home when they hear your own voice. Okay, it brings them a little bit it brings them a little bit home to you and build that rapport up. It skyrockets the rapport when you have your own stuff out there, and this sales funnel is able to do that. So I'm very excited about that. So for those of you, if I missed you, if I give you this information, just reach out to me and I'll make sure you have that link. Otherwise, make sure you seek out your upline or your your upline or your sponsor to get that information. Okay, what do you do if people make fun of your business in front of strangers? People's going to make fun of something they don't understand any darn way. You know, people are going to, you know, misinform people's going to say that, you know, it is what it is. Okay, I mean, people's going to make even fun of, I mean, how you dress, how you look, how you talk, or whatever the case it may be. People's going to make fun out of everything. You know, if people make fun of the business, first of all, I always educate them. And other than that, you know, they disqualified or I just ignore them. Okay, if they become a nuisance, you know, especially if they're doing it on Facebook, you know, there's a button up there that says unfriend and block. You can do that with the quickness. All right, so I mean, if they come at me from a character standpoint or whatnot, you know, I'll say what I gotta say and I just be done with it. You know, it's too much. You know, we got too much stuff to do to be, you know, focusing on negative people. Can you talk about the shift and the purge a little bit? The purge really doesn't, I mean, well, I guess it does. The purge is this, you know, Wake Up Now is being positioned into become a $1 billion iconic company. So, you know, people who's treating this as a hobby, if you will, you know, it's time for the separation to start. You know, like they say, you're separated from the men from the boys, you know, the women from the girls, if you will. All right. If you have been in this business and you have been inactive, meaning that you have not, you know, you have not updated your subscription of the Platinum or the Explorer package for 2 consecutive months, you need to have at least 40 points or 40 in volume to pretty much, you know, stay in the game. If you've been inactive for a consecutive 2 months and you've been an IBO, they're going to revert you down to a customer service, not customer service, a preferred customer, and you will not be able to bill your team for an additional 4 months. So that means this: if you have people up under you, if you have a team up under you, and say for example that you just stop working on Wake Up Now, okay, and you got a team up under you, whether you place them or your upline place them, all right. If you've been inactive for 2 consecutive months, you're gonna revert into a preferred customer. Okay, you won't be able to build a team for 6 months, and you'll be purged out. Which means everybody that was placed under you, they get bumped up to the next person above you. So that's what the shift and purge is all about. More information on that is located on our OneTrain or also the blog.wakeupnow.com. So I highly recommend you at least get 40 points. That's what, 2 cases of thunder. All right. I mean, it's real easy. If you really stay consistent in marketing these products and services, you'll be okay. You don't always, and here's a tip, you don't always have to provide or market the Platinum package. You know, some people, they might like 1 or 2 things that's within Wake Up Now. They might like the One Finance. They might like only the Vacation Club. They might like the Tax Spot. You can market those a la carte. Okay, you will get more bang for your buck for the Platinum and Explorer pack, but remember, it's all based off the PS3. If you do the PS3 properly, you will not have issues. All right. So with that being said, everybody, I got to cut this short. It's 8:01. We have our national call going on right now. Make sure you check your emails that I sent out with that information. All right. Again, I'm going to be doing this once a month at the middle of the month. All right. We got 2 weeks. 2 weeks left at the end of the month for you to get ranked up. The King and Queen of the Mountain contest is very competitive. All right. So make sure you claim your spot. Okay. For those of you on the board, make sure you increase your numbers so you can win those cash bonuses. All right. So again, everybody, thank you for joining me in this training right here. This is Chris McCoy, top leader with Wake Up Now. I'll see you next Monday for training.